Hello dear viewers and welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Maverick, where today we're going to be watching Carole and Tuesday episode 12. So, last episode, Carole and Tuesday finally made it to the finals where they will face off against Angela, right? This was despite the sort of semi-sabotage done by Cybele, where, Tuesday hurt her hand, as well as hostile judges with Erdogan on the judge panel, right? So, they're there now. They got the tickets to the finals. Now, however, I still hold in reserve who is actually going to win. Personally, I still feel like probably Angela's going to. It doesn't really make sense for me for the protagonist to get to have so much success this early, but I could be wrong. But before all that, we got some more pressing issues at hand, right? So first of all, we got this sort of trust problem or relations problem between Carole and Tuesday, the two of them. So we haven't got that figured out yet. And to make matters worse, it seems that in the ending of last episode, Tuesday's family found her, right? Or at least the hired help that they put out found her. And so now she's being whisked off back home. So they probably got to do that entire part where we're gonna see Tuesday maybe face off against her family, as well as watch Carole and Tuesday sort of repair their relationship, or at least strengthen it, right? Which is kind of a good thing, because up to now there has been some grumblings, if you will, lamenting the lack of character development between Carole and Tuesday. So this seems like a good opportunity for us to do that. So let's just get into the episode right now. Alright, and let's begin in 3, 2, 1, play. I wonder if they're bodyguards or just hired thugs. I mean, they're driving a pretty nice car, so it's entirely possible they're just the bodyguards of Tuesday's mom. Oh. No opening this time? Alright. Look at Gus's face. We've only just begun. Carpenters? I mean, you don't need to make it into a scandal. Like, if she doesn't see, nobody's gonna know that she ran away from home. Wouldn't it work in your advantage that you have a famous celebrity daughter? I'm just saying, just saying. You probably appeal more to the younger audience this way. Oh yeah, and it is her birthday. So she's not to leave her house for a week, leave her room for a week. And her injuries take about a week. And I'm assuming that the finals are also in about a week. So everything's coming together? This is quite a nice background song as well. I hope I don't get copyright struck for this. Wait. So you can still communicate with the outside world, but You guys, can't you just like call each other? Maybe talk it out? Teacher of life, Gus. Actually doing some manager things. So what are you gonna do? This is a nice brother. Is he gonna help her? Well, you still need talent, right? Otherwise it's just a hobby. They? Yeah. Yo, let's go. Seriously? Oh my god. I mean, if it's actually a reflection of a person, wouldn't it... Wouldn't it kind of count as being written by humans? Sing it for my sake. there we go. Carpenters. This is an old song. Oh. So, she actually... Are they gonna just, like, pass by each other? Oh. What are you gonna do? Shouldn't you like cover your face or something? Oh. Huh, so it actually did work in the end. He's getting electrocuted. You guys, maybe you want to hug somewhere else? Oh, what's this? Wait, it's today? The F? Okay. And so the manager... Oh my god, this is... Ooh, a smart guitar. Is that a badge or? Wait, and that's just it. Yeah, they're nationwide famous now. Oh, not even nation, worldwide famous. Sorry. Oh, seriously, they're just gonna have the final in this episode? What are they even rushing for? They got 2 seasons to do things. And I can see Erdogan still on the judge panel. Oh. Holy crap. Alright, still gotta mute this first, but... It's... sounds way different from her other singing voices. Okay, I'm digging this song. They completely missed her performance. Nice. Yeah. This is gonna be kind of hard to top. It's absolutely mainstream pop, but still. And they're even out of breath. Hmm? And just gonna say, let them sing. Oh, see, and that is how I said. And that is why they did not win. But where's their instruments? Wait, what? Super teleportation. The loneliest girl? Yay! Nice. Oh, I love that sliding acoustic guitar sound. Ah, nice. Okay, how are they gonna enter the second verse? Is it gonna be different? Talk about reusing frames. There we go. Nice. Nice. Erdogan. Yeah. No, that's the. I'm kind of conflicted on this. Mm. What? What? Okay. All right. This is kind of a cop out, but oh well. And thus concludes the first core. Alrighty, so we end this first core of the anime with two very brilliant performances by our protagonist, Carole Tuesday, as well as our main antagonist, if you will, Angela. And this is definitely the best works that they've brought out so far within the anime so far. I guess you could make a case maybe for some of the other unorthodox performances, but at least in terms of, you know, normal performances, these two definitely stand out, right? So let's talk about Angela first. So again, she is the full embodiment of the mainstream pop singer, the mainstream pop diva, if you will. And you can definitely see that she was trying to emulate this within this song as well, with the entire structure of the song, with the way she sang it. As I said before, way earlier, her songs are structured in a way to show off her range as well as her technique in using her voice and whatnot. And yeah, she did a pretty brilliant job. She does have, the singer behind her has a pretty unique accent that she displays when she sings the words. It was definitely kind of a different style than the previous songs that she sang before. I mean, her singing style, and that was to good effect, actually. It brought something new, something unique to this performance. Now, however, I will have to say, though, even though you can clearly see she's trying to emulate, mainstream pop singers, and she's very close. Like, don't get me wrong, she's a great singer and a great talent in her own right. Still, compared with, the top tens of today's world or whatnot, mainstream pop, I still feel like she's maybe 99% there, but she's still missing that 1%, right? In terms of her actual range and vocal talent. Now, this is not a diss on her, I'm just saying it as it is. You can still hear a sort of difference, listening to some of the top 10 mainstream singers. Like, I know a lot of people hate pop and whatnot, but, they do have the talent there, right? Is in terms of their vocals. So, the high notes, the way that they hold the end notes and whatnot, the places where they breathe, how they power through certain places. I still feel like even though she's already emulated to a quite high level, still lacking a little bit, which, I can't really fault her, right? There's a reason why those top stars are top stars, right? So, that is that. And also, I gotta say, this has been a consistent problem throughout the entire series so far, and that is the sound mix for these songs, I just feel like are a bit lacking as well, especially in terms of these kind of mainstream pop songs such as what Angela is singing. I don't know, it just feels like there's not enough oomph to the sound, if you will. I tried listening to it by turning the volume up, but still, it's just a little bit muddied, if you will. And I don't know, I don't know if this is whether a deliberate choice, or maybe they just didn't want to take that time to redo it. Maybe these were all recorded by the various different artists themselves, and the actual animators and whatnot, they didn't really have a say over this. I just feel like it's still, also a little bit lacking, if you will. And the entire arrangement for the song, I also feel like, come on, you are already saying that Angela is, being backed by the greatest songwriting AIs of this current world, right? You could have gone with a far more complex song arrangement, to really get that kind of full-bodied sound that you hear nowadays so often. So, these are, I guess, slight points against her, but don't get me wrong, this is still absolutely a great performance, and it's definitely worthy of being the winner, right? Angela is still definitely worthy of being the winner of this competition. Now, let's get to Carole and Tuesday. And first of all, let me just say that personally, I felt Carole and Tuesday won. And the reason for this is just that there is this authenticity in their sound, in their music, especially for me, especially the acoustic guitar sound. That is so good when combined with their vocals. Like I mentioned within the episode, I love that acoustic sliding sound on the guitar that you get when you slide on an acoustic guitar. That I'm not really sure how to say it in English. Just that sliding sound, right? It feels like you're the friction that causes this sort of sound to be produced, and combined with the echo that they put in there, I do believe that this recording was probably actually them playing the keyboard and the guitar and singing within a small recording studio, right? The echo effect definitely leads me to believe that is what happens, and that I love it, right? The authenticity of that style of music is really the entire atmosphere, the feel of it is great, and definitely a lot different than the synthetic sound that Angela has. Like, if you're just talking about pure music, the actual melody and whatnot, I feel like they're pretty hand in hand, if you will. And Angela's song definitely is probably better to sing along with rather than The Loneliest Girl. And actually, what was Angela's song? Light a Fire. Light a Fire, right? So Light a Fire is actually more due to its structure, it's better to sing along with rather than Loneliest Girl. But I just feel like in terms of the overall atmosphere and how they structured it, I have to give the slight edge to The Loneliest Girl, especially considering that Angela didn't really completely, full on 100% emulate the sort of pop style that Light a Fire is trying to go for. But again, both high level performances as well. And for Carole and Tuesday, let's see. Yeah, that's really all I want to say for their performance. I definitely feel like if you're not going to overproduce a track, then this style probably has the innate advantage, if you will, due to its setup. But regardless, to me, I feel like Carole and Tuesday won this one. In actuality, right? Although due again to the complications, they couldn't actually win, right? So again, that was obvious. Although I did not expect them to actually say you can, get on a contract and debut as well. But more on that later. Actually, quick note on The Loneliest Girl. Actually, it's been released at the same time on all the music streaming services. So if you use, Apple Music or Spotify or Apple Music, you can go listen to it there right now. In fact, I'll link the Spotify link down in the description below. The Loneliest Girl. They actually played the full song. The full song is only 3 minutes, and they played the full song within the anime. So that is a plus going towards them. What else? Oh, and just a little bit of trivia, because I didn't, I probably should have researched this a long time ago, but I didn't do that. And that is the singer for Tuesday, Selena Ann. I actually recently found out that she collaborated with DJ Okawari. Now, I'm not sure how many of you guys know DJ Okawari, but he is basically a producer and songwriter of sort of new jazz / hip hop fusion, if you will. His style, if you guys have heard of DJ Okawari, you probably heard of Nujabes as well. That similar style, new jazz and whatnot. But anyways, the point is Selena Ann actually collaborated with DJ Okawari just early this year for DJ Okawari's new album, which was released in March. So hey, that's more music for me to listen to and more music for you guys to listen to as well. So yeah, just a little bit of trivia for you guys. Okay, so those were the songs, right? So let's get back into the actual episode, because I do have some problems with the episode in itself, and that is mainly the pacing, right? Like, seriously, this is a 24, I believe 24 or maybe potentially 25 episode anime. What are they rushing for? I don't know, throughout the previous few episodes, I felt like the pace was okay, even a bit slow, if you will. But then suddenly in this episode, it seems like they were rushing to get, everything finished to meet the end of the first quarter of the season, right? We didn't get the more heartfelt relationship development between Carole and Tuesday. Like, they had the scene for all of 1 minute, right, where they didn't really actually talk about much that we didn't know already. So how did they actually resolve that situation there? And also we didn't get the entire Angela situation with her manager. Like, suddenly everything is okay, right? I don't know. I just feel like this episode felt quite rushed in a way, and so I'm just like, even though I'm grateful that we had time to play 2 full songs, right? This is a music anime, and any music anime that actually puts full music in there gains my appreciation. But still, you could have easily structured it a little bit better to give more screen time to the important stuff, the developmental stuff, right? Because that is important as well. So that's my main gripe with this episode as a whole. Also, I gotta talk about it, the animation, right? They were lazy this episode. They reused so many frames. Again, you could say that, fine, they were playing music during that time, right? It's not that important. And, okay, I guess I can concede that point, but still, it just... because the earlier animation, especially from the beginning few episodes, was beautiful. Right, and here I just feel like not only do they reuse a lot of the still frame shots, but also in terms of the actual animations, including during the playing and during the Angela's performance as well, it just felt like, I don't know, the quality suddenly dropped for a bit, right? So I gotta dock them a few points for that as well, for this episode. Yeah, so that was mostly what I had about this episode. So moving forward, what do we have, right? So in the end, you know, much to my surprise, all three of them managed to gain a contract, and it seems that they're not mortal enemies anymore, even though they weren't in the first place. But still, especially within this episode, another kind of funny thing is that the topics that they're singing about is actually relatively the same, right? Now, you could say that Angela's song was written by AI, but still, since we were already told within this episode, the lyrics actually do reflect her own heart as well. So, in a sense, you could say they are on equal footing in terms of this. And so they, you know, it's both songs talking about loneliness and about, you know, overcoming this loneliness and moving forward, right? So there's this kind of mirroring here, if you will. And so it's definitely going to be fun watching their dynamic with each other going forward. Although this brings a problem, which I actually neglected to touch upon before. And that is Tuesday is, well, actually both Carole and Tuesday are actually minors, right? I believe from their official bio, they are 17 years old. And unless, you know, Mars has a lower age of becoming an adult, they are minors, and therefore they cannot sign any contracts, let alone debut contracts, without the permission of their guardian, right? So in Carole's case, well, what kind of guardian does she have? I don't know. I feel like this is going to be another point going forward, which they will probably have to solve. And in Tuesday's case, of course, we still have to go through her mom first, right? Her mom is still her lawful guardian. If she does not sign off on it, she cannot have this debut contract. So I'm guessing that this is something that will probably come into play, and then we'll really revisit the family problems that we should have visited in this episode. I guess they just simply delayed it a little bit, if you will. So that's how I believe they are going to bring back this point. And maybe either delay their debut for a bit. Otherwise, like I said, they're gaining popularity and fame and success a little bit too fast, I feel. So this is maybe a way to hold it back. Alright, so that concludes everything I want to talk about for this episode. Let me know what you guys think. Who do you think won between Angela and Carole and Tuesday? Although, I feel like for most people who are actually watching this anime, you know, the type of people who would actually seek out this anime and watch it, probably most of you guys would also vote for Carole and Tuesday as well. But if there are some Angela supporters here, do let me know. Because, like I said, her song isn't bad at all, and it's damn catchy, right? And the lyrics are quite repetitive, I gotta say, for both the songs. But anyways, that was a pretty good conclusion to the first core. Hope I see you guys again next week. Although I believe next week is going to be sort of a recap episode. At least that's the news that I've seen so far. And so if it is a recap, then I will just skip next week's episode and see you guys on episode 13. But I'll go and make sure that, you know, that episode doesn't have anything new in it. If it does, then I will also make a video. But anyways, we'll get to that next week. You guys know if you see the video. So, hope you guys have a good time with this episode, and I will see you guys next time. Adios.